Hey everyone, welcome to the August All Hands. Great to see everybody. While we wait for people to trickle in, go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know where you're dialing in from. We will have some time for questions at the end. So if you have questions for the presenters, please go to app.usebraintrust.com/feed and add the hashtag all hands. We'll post that in the chat as well. And we'll have some time for questions at the end. Without further ado, let me start by sharing my screen and just going through what we have in store for you before passing it over to Adam. And wow, we've got a global representation. So we've got Argentina, South Africa, Indianapolis, Turkey, Lagos, all over. So, wow, yes. Cayman, Pakistan, Canada, such a global crew. How many signups did we have, Maddie, for this conversation?
We had about 1,600 community members signed up. So excited you're all here.
Wow, really cool. All right, let me start sharing my screen and jump right in. So welcome everybody. Today we'll go through a few things. So first we'll start with macro trends and network updates from Adam Jackson. Then Grady will walk us through who's hiring on Braintrust. And then Nasser and Maddie will take us through what we have in store, what we've released, and what's coming for the rest of the year. So without further ado, let me pass it over to Adam.
Hey everybody, good to see you. We had over 1,600 RSVPs for this, so nice to see all the community interest here. For anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Adam Jackson, co-founder at Braintrust, CEO of a company called Freelance Labs, which is one of our core teams here. My quick background, I've studied computer science, started 4 venture-backed companies. I'm an active investor in the crypto and software AI space, LP in a bunch of funds. So I kind of see a bunch of different angles of this ecosystem. I started Braintrust with my co-founder Gabe back in 2018, really just to make a more fair job marketplace, a place where a for-profit company isn't taking value fees from talent like many of the other corporate networks that do what we do, but instead cut out that middleman, give all that value that's extracted as fees back to the participants of the network. And so what that means on Braintrust is no fees, no network fees for the talent, and minimal fees charged to clients. So we're a couple of years in here, off to a great start. Since our founding, we've grown the talent community to over 413,000 global talent, done about 172 million cumulative GSV, and even through this economic slowdown, we're continuing to grow here. So today we're going to share a bunch of updates. We kind of got out of the rhythm of doing these community updates. I'm really glad that we're back in it. So we're going to talk about who's hiring on Braintrust, exciting new clients, trends, platform improvements. Elena, Maddie, Nasser have been really busy. Their teams just making this thing even sleeker and better and easier to use for both talent and clients. And then talk about the professional network and how that thing is just in its few short months of existence, really growing and starting to add value. But first, before we get into that, I'll talk about some macro trends, talk about the AI market, the crypto market, and some specific things that have happened on Braintrust and governance. So we'll start with kind of the bad news. The macro environment is still pretty cold. Last quarter, I shared that about half of our clients were on a hiring freeze. That number is now closer to 75%, which is unfortunately, that's just how the cycles of this economy work. My guess, based on the Fed's activity of continuing to raise rates, the U.S. credit downgrade, that we probably have another 2 to 4, maybe 3 to 5 quarters of this, but probably gradually coming on the upswing, I hope. So that means the Braintrust network's growing a bit slower from a job posting perspective, clients on hiring freeze, that kind of thing, but it is still growing, and that's the good news. So what does this mean for talent like us? Jobs are more competitive to win. I know that's frustrating. I've been there personally. I put myself through college by being a programmer on what is now called Upwork. It was called Rent-A-Coder back then. So I know this is frustrating, but we will dig out of it. And despite all that, we continue to add great clients. Grady's going to go through all of that later. Switching over to AI, that's the favorite buzzword of the day here. And we're not missing the boat on this fun gravy train of AI. So first of all, very notably, about 20% of our roles on Braintrust are AI roles. And so my best advice to you is, if you aren't using AI in your everyday work or sharpening up your skills in AI, now's the time to start. The good news is you can learn all this stuff for free on YouTube or Google. I think I'm a huge fan of Google's tutorials, and I've been going through those myself personally. All this stuff is, it's complicated stuff. You have to really kind of lean into it intellectually, but it's very easy to learn, or it's free to learn. And if you want to learn it, it's actually not that hard. If you're already a developer or a UX designer or someone, have a technical skill, you should be able to pick this up. We are also implementing AI across the entire Braintrust platform. We are, our wonderful product managers here on the call will, I'm going to steal a little bit of their thunder, but we're using AI to improve matching. So algorithmic matching between talent and jobs, using AI to help sort appropriate candidates for clients so they can hire faster and a higher likelihood of the job getting filled. I actually got to talk to Chris Mims of the Wall Street Journal for an article entitled "What Will AI Do to Your Job?" Take a look at what's already doing to coders. This article highlights some of the cool stuff that we're doing to keep the core teams really minimal, capital efficient, and make the user experience for all of you much better. And Anne will drop a link to that article into the chat. On the crypto side, crypto is still in the crypto winter here, as we're all feeling. But there's some green shoots here. There's some positive momentum. Coinbase seems to be making a lot of progress in its case with the SEC. We had a federal judge say a week or two ago that crypto tokens are not inherently securities, just like a baseball card or a golf club is not a security. Now, you can securitize anything, right? But the fact that this came out in the Ripple case, the fact that something is a digital security does not inherently, or digital asset does not inherently make it a security. So good momentum there. We work closely with Coinbase and follow this whole space in the US really closely. So it's still winter out there, as we all know, but I'm feeling really optimistic about the space and where it's going. Finally, over to some network updates on Braintrust. So, what does this mean for us? Well, we're staying the course. No strategy change here. Our goal is to get more jobs onto the platform so we all as talent can make more money. Simple as that. And we're continuing to grow the professional network so all of us can network with folks, upskill, expand our marketability, make more money. Right, that's the whole point of Braintrust for Talent. The connector program, very notably, continues to really thrive. I would say now is a really great time to be making referrals, because the Braintrust rewards, the token rewards you receive, are a percentage of the dollars that you refer into the network. And so, when the token price is lower, you get more tokens, right? So it's actually never been a better time to make referrals. And then finally, notable governance item that was proposed and passed in the last month, the Braintrust community decided to change the fee that clients pay from 10% to 15%. And it's not a retroactive thing, it's a go forward thing. But that means the network will have more revenue to build things, improve the features, and just make the ecosystem more robust. So also interesting, a 50% fee increase sounds like a lot, but our competitors are charging between 50 and 150%. So this is still the best place in town to go if you're talent or client. So lots of good stuff there, despite this being kind of a cold down part of the cycle. Let me hand it over to Grady now to talk about all of our client growth, and then I'll stay on answer any questions you have at the end if you want to pop them into the chat.
Sweet. Thanks, Adam. Hey, everybody. For those that don't know me, I'm Grady. So I run another one of our nodes called Distributed Labs. And where I spend most of my time is on the client side of the equation. So helping new clients onboard to Braintrust, educating them, help them get through the process of finding great talent and kind of running that whole side. So what I wanted to walk you guys through is a few things. Like one, kind of like what are we seeing in the market? I know most of you guys are on the talent side of the equation here and care kind of about jobs and what we're seeing. So I want to give you a little update there, some of the trends we're seeing, and then talk a little bit about the connector program. So you're going to forward the slide here. So I like to do this. This is just like enterprise clients logos you guys might recognize. Talk about, over the last 6 months, the last month, who's been hiring on Braintrust specifically. So this is active clients in the middle. So those that are posting jobs, making hires, those type of things. New clients, so new logos we've just onboarded, and then pipeline clients on the right side there. So this is clients we're actively trying to get into the network. Some of the things that I've seen on the front lines here is kind of interesting. So one, like summer months are slow across the board. Like this is historical. We see this every single year where July, August, typically clients are, on vacation, people are hiring less, and they kind of save their hirings for kind of the first quarter of the year or the second half. We're seeing the same thing. What's been interesting is we've actually been onboarding more clients per month the last 3 months than we saw in the first 3 months of the year, by about 2x. So we're actually seeing a lot more clients come into Braintrust per month. The number of job posts have been relatively consistent. So we're seeing kind of less jobs per client getting posted, but it's been amazing to see like the client volume increasing pretty substantially the last 3 months over previous months. What that tells me is like when clients come back and start hiring at higher volumes, we're going to be in a really great position as a network to be able to catch all those jobs as people are starting to grow and bring more talent into their ecosystems. So that's like a cool thing to see. The other thing that we're hearing a lot from the enterprise clients and all the way through like some of the smaller businesses we're working with is like a bunch of people are pointing us to September and October. We've seen those be pretty big months for us as far as job volume coming into the network, people getting hired and those type of things. So I'm expecting September, October to be a spike. So for those of you looking, we've got a lot of jobs on the network today. I would expect that number to go up quite substantially in September, October, and through the rest of the year. It's like good things to look for through there, plus the number of clients that we've got coming into the network, which is pretty great. The other thing the product team is going to spend a little bit of time on here as well is we just opened up, what we're calling self-serve. So clients can now come into the network, post jobs without having to go through a person to do so. What that means for us as a network is we're expecting more clients, more jobs, more opportunities for everybody to come flowing in naturally, and through the different referral links that you guys have out there as well. So second half of the year, looking very optimistic as far as more jobs coming to the network, both from what clients are telling us, what we're seeing in the data, and then some of the changes we're making as a product group as well. So like all really exciting stuff from like a new client and new job perspective. If you want to go forward one, look like old slides to me. We can talk about the connector program. Maddie, I think who's ever sharing, this is the old deck.
Let me hunt down that one. 1 second.
Sorry, guys. 1 sec. Technical. Lana, you've got it here. I just sent it over to you.
Doing it live, baby.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love it. While she's pulling that up, I'll kind of keep going on. So I just want to confirm. So like what Adam said on the AI front, guys, like we're starting to see it a lot on the new client front as well. So kind of two different versions of AI, clients or jobs, I'd say right now is like one, we're seeing a lot of like AI focused companies come in. And what's interesting about the AI focused companies is like they're looking for like traditional roles, right? Like front end, back end developers, project managers, designers, those type of folks to help their ecosystem inside their AI company, but more traditional like job types within them. So we're seeing a lot of like opportunities from that perspective. But then we're also seeing a lot of like more traditional companies start to evolve and bring AI into their strategy. And then we're seeing a lot of like data science, data engineers, machine learning folks, LLM type roles coming into these broader companies as kind of like they're starting to incorporate as well. So Adam mentioned it. We're seeing about 20% of all jobs right now are AI focused, meaning either they're with an AI company or they're more of like a traditional company like a Nestle or a Principal or a Guardian Life or something like that, in which they're trying to get much more sophisticated in how they incorporate into their strategies. So as Adam mentioned, I would start doing everything you can to incorporate AI into your everyday job life and how you can up level and put on your Iron Man suit from an AI perspective as well. So some of them here, and then, yeah, like this is kind of what we're seeing is like a lot of these type of roles, but a lot of like pretty interesting projects, like, you know, around chatbots, a lot of automation stuff from a process automation perspective. We're seeing insurance firms on like the risk management and compliance perspective starting to incorporate AI. So there's a lot of pretty interesting things coming through, and I'd expect this trend to continue to pick up. So kind of what you're hearing in the macro is what we're also seeing here. I'm going to go forward one. Cool. So a few new things, guys. So the connector program, not new, but how you use it is very new. So for those of you guys that are not familiar, the Braintrust connector program is basically like Braintrust secret sauce, right? It's like how we incorporate and involve all the community members in growing the business. What that means is everybody's got referral links. Historically, you'd had a great link on your profile to be able to share to invite other talented people to the network. As of last week, we just opened up client-side referral links as well. So now on all of your earn pages, we'll show you here in a sec, you can grab those and share them with prospective clients to be able to bring them into the network. The idea here is now we can use everybody as part of the network, which I think we're now like 400 and some odd thousand people in the network, who can now start to bring both sides in and really get this thing moving, which means more jobs, more talent into the network, more opportunities for everybody else. How it works is you get 2% of every dollar spent on the client side. So if you invite Target as a customer into Braintrust and they spend $1 million, you would earn $20,000 in B-Trust paid out as those contracts are paid. So it can be quite lucrative. And as Adam mentioned, it's a great time to be earning the token at a lower price. If you want to go forward one, there were some links there, by the way, for you to be able to go find your stuff. Now, so I know you're going to cover a little of this later too. So on everybody's earn page, so if you guys go log into the app, now you navigate over to refer and earn. It used to just say refer talent. Now it says refer clients. You'll notice they're the same link. That's actually my link in there. You guys will have your own with your name on it. And you can take that link and send it out to anyone you want, right? So you can send it, you can post it on LinkedIn, you can post it on Twitter, you can send it to a prospective client hiring or your friend who's trying to get a job. And once they go through that flow, it'll bring them in as either a client or a talent member, help them set up, and then help them work through the workflow on either side of the network. So I would encourage you guys all to go do that. It's just going to help us grow the network together much faster. If you want to go forward. And then how this works, guys, for everybody, for anyone who's maybe not done this before, once you refer, it's pretty slick. So on the client side of the equation, how it works is you refer a client, they come into the system, they post some jobs, they hire some people, right? Those people start billing through the network, and you, as the person who referred the client, start gathering rewards, right? And they're dropped into your account every single time a payment is made by the client that you referred. It's beautiful on your page. You can go to refer and earn. You can see all the clients in there. You can see their spend. You can see how many tokens you've earned as rewards, and then you can always withdraw them and do what you will with them from there. So it's a great kind of side hustle here, guys. Many people are looking for jobs or not totally busy. This is a fantastic way to build a revenue stream for yourself in the form of B-Trust tokens. And then lastly, we're doing a contest. All right. So we haven't done one of these before. I'm actually pretty excited about this. So, and we'll probably do kind of different variations of this going forward as well. So the program pays very well from a reward perspective already. But we want to drive some additional incentive here, especially with the token price being low. Like, so this would, today's value be somewhere in, 15 to 20,000 tokens. As an additional bonus here for whoever refers the most clients in between now and the end of September. So share your link everywhere, get people coming into the network. We'll make sure that, they look like real customers and these type of things. We'll validate it. And then we're going to share out on October 2nd, who has won the competition. My bet is like the winner is going to refer probably, 10, 20-ish clients into the network, maybe more. I don't know. But this is a great way for you guys to help grow the network, do it very rapidly, and earn rewards on the back end for yourself. So jump on it. Please ping us if you have questions on how to do it. It should be very straightforward in the platform itself. And we'll repost this stuff on Professional Network as well. Okay, cool. That's it on my section.
Thanks so much, Grady. And a couple of questions coming into the feed, which we'll get to at the end of the presentation. So keep posting at appusebraintrust.com/feed with the hashtag allhands. All right, on to what's coming and what we've launched so far. So a couple of you had questions in the feed about what is Braintrust all about and what are we focusing on. So our product vision remains the same from the beginning of this year, and that is twofold. One is to really focus on earning and making sure you're positioned for the right jobs and that we continue to get clients onboarded, posting great jobs globally, and also positioning you for getting those jobs. So that might be resume review, mentorship, interview prep, etc. And these are all one-on-one mentorship help that's going on in the Professional Network that Maddie will take us through. So without further ado, let me pass it on to Nasser to really talk us through what we're focusing on the earn side. And then Maddie will take us through what we're focusing on in the learn side.
Yeah, thanks, Elena. Hey, everyone. My name is Nasser, and I lead our jobs marketplace product team. Really appreciate everyone joining here today. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this section is all about helping you earn. And yeah, I'm very excited to share our some details on what we've been up to on the marketplace side and what we have coming up. So just a quick reminder, the reason we're here is to help empower talent, help you take more control of your career, get to those right opportunities. We've all been in the job seeker role before, and we know the ups and downs that it entails. So we want to help you just spend less time on the job hunt, more time earning, and getting compensated fairly. So yeah. First up, in terms of new features, as Grady mentioned, we have a new client self-serve experience. So this is probably the biggest transformation of the Braintrust experience. And while it's not directly visible to you, the talent, what it means is that a client can now sign up for Braintrust and start posting jobs without actually talking to anybody here first. So this is a true self-serve experience. They can start posting jobs, hiring people right away. And we know that there's a lot of potential here because we only released it last week and we saw a 600% week over week increase in our client signups. So that is like a transformational difference for the platform. And we expect that those more clients will translate to more jobs. So we are very pumped about this, and we are going to be doing our best to make this experience as streamlined as possible going forward. Next slide.
And Nasser, there's a couple of questions just from folks about global jobs. Do you think this helps us land more jobs on the platform internationally?
Definitely. So yeah, we previously could not service a lot of clients who are overseas, and now with the self-serve, we are allowing those clients on the platform. So you should see more jobs with fewer location restrictions or locations outside the US more.
The other thing here, guys, is we've heard this a lot, like we need to open up global roles. A lot of the core teams here in the US, a lot of it's kind of spread out as well. the big key here is now anybody can come in and sign up. Like, that's amazing. The other thing is these referral links. We used to not be able to have a frictionless way for people to refer international clients into the system. Like, they'd have to come through some kind of gated system, either a person or otherwise. Now we've kind of opened it wide up. So like the aperture is much wider for people to be able to come in and start posting jobs all over the world. So my bet is this increases, global jobs, like total job volume, but also global jobs quite a bit. And for those of you that are international, like, get your links out to all the clients and companies in whatever local country you're in. And we'd love to be able to help them as well. They can come right in and start posting.
Like that suggestion. Thanks, Dan.
That's great. Yeah, and next up, we've released a bunch of matching improvements. Again, some of these are facing you, the talent, some of them are facing the client, but the net of all of it is that we're trying to remove the noise when it comes to looking for a job. You don't want to waste time applying for jobs that you don't have a chance at because of your location or time zone, and clients want to get to the high quality talent faster that fits what they're looking for. So yeah, now you're going to see more clear directives on if you match the location or time zone of a job. Clients will also get that information about you and where your location and time zones. And then clients also will be able to filter faster. So yeah, next one, please. And then finally, again, going back to referrals, Grady hit the nail on the head, but this is easier than ever before. And it's going to be more effective than ever before. Now we have a single link that you can share as a talent, and you can share it to anybody, and they can sign up as a talent or a client. Doesn't matter where they are. And yeah, when you refer clients, they're going to go through that self-serve flow I just talked about. So the chances of them becoming an active client on the platform are even higher than ever. So yeah, I just want to reiterate, get the referral link on your website, bios, share it, email, social media. We think that we're building a platform that's talent first. And so I think that the talent can be our marketing team and getting this platform out there. And it's not charity. You're going to get a good chunk of change if it's successful. So yeah. Next slide. And yeah, in terms of what's coming up next, pretty excited about what we have here. So top priorities, they're actually pretty similar to last quarter. These are kind of multi-quarter efforts that we're pursuing here. So again, we want to get you matched quicker to a job that aligns with your skills. We want to make it easier for clients to post jobs on the platform, and we want to make earning via referrals easier. So in terms of matching, we are working on an AI-based match score model, which will provide more accurate recommendations to talent and clients. So talent will be able to more clearly see what is the right job for them. Clients will be able to sift through applicants, and even when they post a job, we'll be able to give them a list of talent on the platform that are the right background for that role, and then the clients can actually invite those talent. So that's going to start taking effect over the next month, 1 to 2 months. Again, we're going to work on tooling to make interview scheduling and all the logistical stuff of getting a job faster. And we're going to keep working on making it clear to talent, like what are the jobs that you're really eligible for and have a good chance of getting. In terms of job opportunities. So yeah, again, it all comes back to streamlining the client onboarding process. We already made it self-serve, but there's a lot more we can do to make it even faster for clients to get jobs posted. And then talent payment process is the other thing we want to do. We want to make sure that when you do get these jobs, you're getting paid promptly. So we're working on our collections process there to make sure that clients know who they owe and at what time they owe that. And then finally on referrals, it's all about, again, streamlining this process as well. There's a lot more that we have in the backlog to make the referral process really effective. And so we'll be continuing to push there. So that is the marketplace, again, we're focused pretty clearly on just make matching faster, get more jobs, and help you refer faster and earn. So you have really two different routes to earning that are equally viable, which is like getting a job and referring. So now I'm going to hand it off to Maddie, who's going to talk about the professional network, which is our companion to the marketplace.
Awesome. Thanks, Nasser. Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Maddie, and I lead the other side of the product, the professional network, which is really focused on helping you all learn and grow in your careers. So beyond just when you might be looking for your next job opportunity, how can Braintrust be a resource for you to really advance in your career? Go to the next slide, please. As many of you know, we officially launched the professional network earlier in the summer, so available to all of our talent users. So all of you have access to this now in June. And we've seen some really rapid acceleration in terms of people engaging on the platform. I know a couple of you had questions about ways that you can engage with other talent users, and this is the answer. So we have a feed where you can post, ask questions, get replies back from other talent users on Braintrust. And then if you want to have a more in-depth conversation, you can message back and forth via DM or set up time to do a video chat. So I actually did that with one talent member who's just looking for some mentorship advice on getting into product. I have some examples of the types of things people are posting about. So Gianpaolo here posting about how we can switch from more of a graphic design role into a UX or UI design role. Got a bunch of replies from folks in the network that have either transitioned from similar roles or just had some recommendations on how he could make this switch. Next one. And then Gilmar is asking about just some advice for tactical interviews. This is for a growth marketing role. We also added functionality so you can now bookmark posts too. So you'll see on this particular post, one person did bookmark this to come back to later. So if there's resources on important AI skills or other things that will really be helpful that you want to revisit, that's available to you as well. And then the last one here is actually Eric sharing a bunch of helpful tips for product managers and just links, tying it back to Larry David, which is pretty funny here. And then the other thing we did add, just to make finding content easier, is we did add hashtags. So if you've posted on the feed, if you asked a question, using that all hands hashtag, just helping to organize all of the content on the feed, because we've seen, like I said, some rapid acceleration with people posting, and want to make that easier for you all to find that. Go to the next slide, please. All right, so what's coming up for us? So like I said, we launched officially in June, and really are looking at ways that we can make opportunities to connect with other talent users and make this resource more usable for you all. So we've arranged the second half of our year around 3 main themes. The first one is finding more relevant content. Second one is opportunities to earn for sharing your expertise. And the third one is basically making that connection with what you contribute to the professional network, and utilizing that to help you find your next opportunity. So one of the things we heard from a lot of clients is they're actually looking to be able to measure those soft skills that often don't come through on a resume. And the professional network is a great way that you can demonstrate that. So we'll start to look at ways that we can better represent you so you stand out even more to potential clients. In this first theme of relevancy, so we are going to release in the next couple of weeks, actually, a personalized feed. So this will rank content and show the most relevant content based on your interests and experience. So for example, you're a designer, we would not rank questions that are specific to engineering as high in your feed. So it'll really be personalized to where your expertise is. You'll still be able to find all the content, but it'll just be how we rank it on the feed so you can find the most relevant content. The second one here is another big one, and one that was actually born out of a lot of feedback we heard from all of you. And this is to create separate spaces from the main feed, which opens up our opportunities for more in-depth conversation about specific topics. So you can see there might be a space for women in engineering where maybe they could share their experiences, get advice from other women in engineering, and not necessarily open that up to the entire main feed. So that is coming as well. The first spaces will actually be focused on a couple ways that we can help all of you around resume reviews and then folks that might be looking for their next opportunity. So stay tuned, that will be coming later this year. And then the third one around relevancy is some improvements that we're making to search. So today, actually, our content isn't indexed in our global search. So we'll now be making it easier to search for relevant content and find what people have posted before, because a lot of times your question may have already been asked. You can see how people responded to it before you ask the question again. The second theme here we have is all around earning. So one premise when we started on this path towards releasing the professional network is there really is an opportunity for you all to earn for sharing your expertise and giving advice to the network. So we will be opening up peer-to-peer Braintrust payments so that you can actually earn for those one-on-one engagements. So that is coming second half of this year as well. And then we'll also be implementing a reward system. So as you reach different milestones in your Braintrust journey, you can earn rewards for hitting those milestones. So excited for that too. The third one is how your contributions to the professional network can help unlock your next opportunity. We are going to start to incorporate your screening scorecard into your Braintrust profile. This won't be visible to clients, but it will help our matching team better match you to opportunities and have everything about your persona and profile available to them more easily. And then the second one is related to that reward system that I mentioned, but we're actually going to start to introduce badging for your contributions on the profile. So again, just to showcase what you've done more on the soft skill side of things, we'll now show that on your profile. And that will be a great way to showcase skill sets that may not come through in your resume. Next slide, please. All right. And then one other thing that we have been doing is a fireside chat series with some tech leaders. We've had 2 up until this point, and we have several more coming this fall. The first one being August 22nd with Kirthiga. It's going to be focused all around building your career in Web3. So really great content from her. She's the CEO of Virtualness. And has just some great insights into how you can help build your career in Web3. And then the next 2 are actually with a couple of recruiters. So if you are looking for your next opportunity, some great tips here. So Wagma is going to take us through best practices for tech interviews and how to get hired on September 5th. And then Andrew, who is at Roblox, is going to take us through some of the most in-demand skills for 2023. And we'll share the links to all of these afterwards. So definitely RSVP and get them on your calendar. And we're very excited to help continue to up-level our community. All right, Elena, I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, Maddie. Thank you, everybody. With that, we'll open it up to questions and we'll start pulling from the feed. So if you haven't posted your question yet, please go ahead and do so that we can pull it from the feed. Again, that's app.usebraintrust.com feed with the hashtag all hands. So let me do a quick screen share of the first question coming in. And that question's coming from, I believe, Kyle. And his question is, I think, geared to either Grady or Adam, just a deeper look into some of the stats, like how many clients are coming in, what are the types of jobs that are posted, and who's getting hired. So if you have additional insights into trends besides the AI one, please do share.
Yeah, for sure. I can add to this. Let me grab some numbers and put them in there just because those are more statistical. So I guess rather than answer live, let me actually get you the numbers and I'll add them to the post.
Got it. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah, we have the logos in the presentation, but Grady will go ahead and answer this one after the fact. There is another question coming in, probably also for Adam or Grady. This one's coming from Marlon. Where can we look for transparent reporting on the fee structure? How does the fees actually work on Braintrust? And is there any type of quarterly reporting or third-party audit for how revenues are distributed?
Yeah, I can take this one. So we've been doing all of this really out in open since the beginning. You can see a lot of the stats about fees that have been collected and then submitted to the fee converter contract, which goes out, that takes client fees and converts them to USDC and sends that to a smart contract called the fee converter, which then buys Braintrust tokens on the open market and sends them to our DAO. Our DAO is just an on-chain wallet of Braintrust tokens that can be used, voted on by the community for future use. So it'll eventually power the referral engine. Once our initial treasury is depleted, it can be used for grants, whatever the community proposes and decides. That can all be seen at info.braintrust.com.
Thanks for that one, Adam. Another question from the community, this one to Maddie from Dima Cruz. And the question is, does Braintrust have a plan to add more features to the chat feature to allow people to communicate more freely with each other?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's definitely on the roadmap, maybe not in chat specifically, because I think a lot of times having people arranged around a topic is often the best way to get a conversation going. But I think we'll definitely start to see that evolution from spaces as people that are in similar situations can come together. There'll be more opportunities for them to connect with each other and communicate with each other more freely. So it's definitely something we're considering. Definitely want to open up the opportunity for connection between our talent users.
Thanks for that, Maddie. One more from Dr. Douglas Gilbert. Is there a simple or straightforward path to add talent sectors beyond programming and IT? We would like to have a network in the educational sector. So maybe Adam, how do we move into that space?
Yeah, absolutely. So the network is gradually expanding into other categories, notably writers, editors, video producers, performance marketers. These are all categories that the community has sort of expanded. I think the education space is a no-brainer. And so that just takes some coordination with the core teams to get those categories added to the application. And yeah, shouldn't be too hard. Obviously, we want to stock up with talent first.
Absolutely. Any other questions, team? I think those are the ones I'm seeing in the feed.
Yeah, Dr. Douglas, on that one, it might be a good opportunity also to check with the rest of the community on how many other educators are out there, like post a poll to the ProfNet. We can start to see volumes come in from there, or you can always hit the chat. We do collect everything that comes through there to see, how many hits we get and those type of things. So we build everything based on, basically what the community wants. So my vote is to grab some people and get behind that movement if that's what you're looking for.
That's a great push, Grady. I think one last minute one, and then we'll wrap up from Galoom. So he's noticed that some job postings are being closed without a selection of a candidate. How does that happen, or how do we notify applicants, or what are some of the reasons that happens on the platform? Maybe Grady or Nasser.
Yeah, I'll take it. I commented on it too. So how it works, guys, is people can come and post on Braintrust, right? Like they're trying to look for talent. Oftentimes what we'll see is, they're trying to get internal referrals from their company. Maybe they post elsewhere. Maybe they don't fill the role. What we see is roughly 40% or so of the people who post jobs on Braintrust fill those jobs on Braintrust talent. The other kind of 50-60% will find an alternative means, or maybe they post 5 jobs for 5 front-end developers and they really only need 4, right? So they pull one off. The way that we notify you there's kind of a couple different ones that go out. There's one that I think was on the post that was something around Braintrust talent hired, or Braintrust talent not hired, excuse me. That means they actually didn't even hire anybody from the community. They found an alternative route, which is common, right? Anybody posting jobs kind of goes a little bit all over the place. And then you do get some that you were not hired for this role. So those ones actually did hire through Braintrust, I think were the two that you shared in there. So somebody from the community was hired, but not yourself. The thing that I would recommend is if you do want feedback, there's always messaging in the app on the jobs, in which you can hit the matchers who are going to be assigned to those jobs who you can see, or you can reach out to the hiring manager themselves. So I'd encourage you guys to do that if you have additional questions.
Thanks, Grady.
A couple other, just like I'm just seeing some smaller, easier questions in the chat here on Zoom. So I'll just rattle a few off. There's a question about how payments, like what currency payments are made, whether they're only in Braintrust tokens. The answer to that one's no. Payments are made in fiat currency, so usually dollars, but you can, I think, get them in euros as well. So you can choose that. We use wise.com, formerly known as TransferWise, as our payment partner there for global payments. Really, really, really affordable and fast. The Braintrust tokens are just used as an incentive mechanism. So you earn them by referring clients and talent. You use them in the professional network or for voting in community matters.
Yeah, a couple others that just came up. So client fees, when clients post jobs, what are the fees applied? So it's free to post jobs. Anybody can come in and post jobs. We do validate that you're like a real customer, and the job post looks pretty good as well. But anyone can post, totally free. And then how fees work, guys, is it's always free to the talent, right? Like you guys pay nothing to access and apply and do all those things. And even when you get hired, it still costs you nothing. On the client side, this is where we just moved from a 10% service fee for all contracts billing on top of the pay rate. We just moved that to 15% with the talent vote. But that's it. Like there's no hidden fees. Many of these other networks have like tons of fees and on both sides, and you can't figure out where they all are. Ours are very simple. 15% to the client, that's it. There's another question around matchers and them supporting these roles for additional requirements if they're not listed on the job. I would say yes, matchers are not also assigned to all jobs. So we leave this up to the clients to kind of decide what level of service they want from the core team here. If there's a matcher assigned, feel free to ping them. If you've got additional questions around particular skills or skill sets, they can oftentimes support that or message the client themselves. But we're probably going to see more and more of them without a matcher assigned as more self-serve starts to come. So you can kind of get in the habit of messaging the hiring manager themselves. Job verification. Are you guys looking at jobs to verify they're real? The answer is yes, we are. We're taking a look at all those. We just opened up self-serve, so we're kind of expecting a hodgepodge of stuff to come through. We're going through and moderating on that stuff right now. Make sure that legit jobs are coming in, so you guys aren't spending time applying for stuff that's not real or something you might not actually have an opportunity to get hired for. So anything on the platform, treat it as a real job and go after it.
Absolutely. And if there's any questions about it, do reach out and we'll investigate and make sure everything's looking good.
Two awesome ones here from Shelly and Carla on Zoom. If we're not, currently working on like a client contract, anything I can do to help contribute to Braintrust, first of all, thank you. Love that. Yeah, the answer is simple and easy. Is refer other. So get your unique code off the Braintrust platform. Refer other talent to the platform and other potential clients. And then when those parties start transacting on the network, you'll start getting a stream of Braintrust tokens as a reward. It's super easy to do now.
Here's one for you, Elena and Adam, probably. When is the Braintrust app coming and how can I be a part of building it?
Well, Grady, and a lot of people have been asking for that. I think for us, it's a matter of prioritization. So we really need to get the focus on activation, engagement, and making sure that we continue to put in the features that are table stakes. So getting global jobs, making sure that you're hired for those, connecting you with mentors, have more than two ways to earn. So right now we have the referrals, we have the getting people jobs. Next up is mentorship and those transactions for one-on-one help. And as we get through that, then we need to understand when is a mobile strategy the right one for us.
Just scan it. There's a few of these on here that are on the hashtag all hands for those of you that are on the app. that are like, what skill sets are AI companies looking for, and some more like data driven ones. I'll go ahead and add those into the comments sections on those guys, so that you've got some real answers versus just kind of rattling them off here.
Yeah, makes sense. And definitely add them to the Braintrust feed. That way, for the ones that we don't get through live, we'll have a chance to respond to afterwards.
Yeah, definitely take advantage of posting questions on the Braintrust Professional Network feed as opposed to Zoom, because on Zoom, they all get lost after we're done here. On the Professional Network, there's a permanent record there, and it'll be like a nice, encyclopedia, almost FAQ for all the other users that see it. And we will post this video over to YouTube and the Professional Network when we're done.
So one of the questions from Shahid, do you hire from around the world? The answer is yes. And the recent focus is really on expanding that aperture. So we move globally and have those international job posts. So Nasser, I think you've got some of the numbers there, but we've seen an increased global set of jobs being posted.
Yep, it's definitely becoming a significantly larger portion of our jobs in a very short amount of time. So I'd say keep checking that job page, and you should be seeing new stuff every day.
Zavi asked, can companies choose Braintrust people directly, like a love matching? Yes, absolutely. I've actually used this feature where I've either brought my own talent from outside the network onto the platform, or if I know someone's on the platform that I want to work with, I can search for them directly and invite them directly to the job. So absolutely.
Yep, and Braintrust itself, we've hired the latest data scientists for our matching algorithm directly through Braintrust, and he's working with one of our core team members, Emma, on improving that service.
And just about all the engineers that work on Braintrust are engineers on Braintrust, of course.
Hey, one other thing on just the bring your own talent, guys. If you're on contract with a customer through some other network, or through an agency or whatnot, like feel free to bring them over to Braintrust too. Like you get client side referrals on that stuff, so you can start earning Braintrust on every dollar that comes through, and we're going to be probably less expensive from a fee perspective, which means more money in your pocket. So I'd encourage more people to do that too. We see it all the time.
Makes sense. Another question just about job verification. So with clients able to post jobs through the self-serve feature, Nasser, I know you've responded here, but can you elaborate on some of the work that's coming online to really clients confirm jobs?
Yeah, so like first we have a team that's monitoring the jobs as they're getting posted, and in this early stage we are actually vetting in a very careful way and confirming that these are legitimate businesses and all that. Over time, we're planning to make it more scalable, where we do more actual automated business verification. There's lots of automated ways to confirm that a business is legitimate. We'll be requiring deposits on job posts and offers, so that when a client is making an offer to you, the talent, they've put some money on the line, so you can be confident that that they're legitimate and they're good for what they're offering.
Thanks for that, Nasser. One more question from Sanya around withdrawal options. Is the withdrawal feature integrated with most banks or payment platforms across the globe? So I know we've got some work with Stripe coming up, so maybe you can preview some of that to the talent.
Yeah, so first of all, even today, so Wise is functional in vast majority of countries, like 100 plus countries, and that means that you just you create a Wise account, and then you connect your personal bank account to that. So the transfer process works from Wise to basically bank accounts in any of those 100 plus countries. We're adding Stripe, which will be another option if that's more comfortable for you, and it works, I think, in even more countries. And again, same idea. You can connect a bank account to that Stripe, and then the big change that we'll have with Stripe is going to be an actual crypto payout system. So we're a crypto company. We're finally actually offering a crypto payout option. So this is something we've wanted to do for a long time. And so then you'll be able to connect a crypto wallet to your Stripe account, and that should get rid of any remaining kind of geographical issues we have, as well as if you're kind of a crypto first sort of person in your life, then this is really going to be the way to get paid for you.
Thanks, Nasser. A question from Shelley about video screening and screening overall, the purpose, distribution of the videos. It's something that we're looking at right now, and there's a vision of where that's going to take. But Maddie, let me hand that over to you.
Yeah, so the screening video, the 10-minute screening video today is just used internally. So used to verify you are who you say you are, and some kind of basic communication skills by our internal screening team. That's how people are getting that approved badge, going through the screening process, passing the screening process, and then you become approved talent with the badge. It just makes it easier when you're applying for jobs. And then we will be incorporating some of the data that's captured during that screening process into your profile, but available only, again, to our internal teams, so the matching team to help match you with opportunities.
Thanks, Maddie. Another one for you from Abhilash. This one is around integrating knowledge management systems as one of the modules in Career Help to assist newcomers. So what are some of your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so we're definitely thinking about ways that participating in the professional network can also help you kind of improve your Braintrust persona. And so when we talked about some of the incentives and like the badging work that we're doing, there's actually some rewards that we're looking at that would be unlocking like more personalized help in updating your Braintrust profile. For example, I think that we have some existing documentation on our support pages about how you can better interview for jobs, how you can improve your profile, all of that. So we can send over links to the Help Center for those, and certainly look at ways that we can better incorporate that into the career help feature. But yeah, excited about more of those personalized services too, because I think those are really where you can improve the likelihood of getting that next job.
Thanks so much, Maddie. Another question from a mechanical engineer and just transferring skills from one career to another career. So I think this one is a great one to post into the professional network, as there's plenty of people breaking into industries, and the community has just helped with different steps to do that. Plus pointing you again to the event series that's happening. A lot of what Diana spoke about in the last event was about that transitioning and breaking into product management as an example. All right, I think we have...
Oh, yeah, I was just going to address the Discord one. It's probably an important one. Yeah, the question is, Discord doesn't seem to be working. Did we deprecate it or not?
I can take that one. So yes, as of Friday, August 4th, we did decide to deprecate our Discord server, since we now have a new home for the Braintrust community on the product itself. We'll share some links if you're looking for any of the resources that were in Discord. So Help Center links, looking to get in touch with the support team. I'll share all of that out so you have it. But otherwise, if you're looking to connect with other community members, the Career Help feed is where you can do that.
Thanks so much, Maddie. Well, I think that's a wrap. If you all have more questions we haven't gotten to, post them in app usebraintrust.com feed with a hashtag allhands. And this team and others in the network will get to them over the next couple of days. We'll also post a blog post and this video recording for those that may have missed it. Other than that, there's 3 events coming up. Those will be in the Talent All Hands newsletter. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. Great to see you.
Bye.